Greetings and happy new year, my seekers. It's Brooke from BrookeReadsTarot.com with your weekly tarot outlook for the week beginning Sunday, January 1st, 2023. I hope you are coping successfully with that hangover. Hope you enjoyed yourself. If you were out partying last night, I hope everyone is safe and sound. All right, let me shuffle up here. And while I do, please welcome my guide and doorkeeper, Fergus. And I'll just take a second here to open the channel. All right, I'm going to shuffle and cut 3 times, and I will pull 5 cards that will represent our past or currently unfolding influences that are going to color the week. And then I will pull 5 more cards that give us a snapshot of the future of the week, beginning Sunday, January 1st. And this is shuffle and cut number 3. Let's see what we can see, my dears. And our first 5 cards are the Fool, the 10 of Wands, the 3 of Wands, the Chariot, and the 9 of Wands. And I am going to pull the other 5 and just set them off to the side here. Okay, we are always going to start with the repeat messages. So last week before, we had a visit with the Fool, who is encouraging us still to take that leap of faith, to take that step into the unknown. You are as prepared as you can make yourself. Remember, the Fool has packed everything that he thinks he's going to need in that little knapsack, and he has the faith to know that what he does not have and what he does not know will be revealed to him along the journey. So this energy of striking out into a new direction, taking that step into the unknown, that energy is still there. It is available for you, all right, as this is currently unfolding. All right, so take advantage of it, my darlings. Maybe this is some energy you are harnessing for a New Year's resolution. In that case, good luck, my dear. You deserve to feel better about whatever it is that is keeping you where you would no longer like to be. But I want to come over here with this 9 of Swords, this 9 of Wands. Again, we saw this in recent weeks. The 9 of Wands shows us that there is something that requires our energy, our physical energy, something we have to put our hands on in order to get this finished, get it resolved, bring it to a conclusion. And it will be a relatively central issue for you. This is not going to be a big surprise. All right. This is a change that you know that you need to make, but we haven't made it because we say to ourselves, well, if I do this differently, if I change this thing, then that means that all of these other things that are associated with it, then I have to change those too, and I have to do those differently as well. And that sounds like a ton of work. It is and shall always be a trap of the ego, my darling, a trap that is keeping you stuck where you are. You need to generate this energy and get this thing done. And the first order of business in getting that energy to fix this one thing, because when you fix this one thing, all of those other things that are associated with it by default must improve or go into non-being. All right, so let yourself off the hook for all of those, what ifs that you're casting out into the future. Doesn't exist. Fix the central issue, everything else will correct itself. It has to, because the state of all of those things as they currently are predicated on the dis-ease, imbalance of the central issue, okay? Now, in order to make the time, find the energy in order to fix this thing, yeah, you're going to have to let go of some bullshit stuff that's sucking your energy in directions that aren't getting you any closer to your goals, aren't really moving your days forward. So we're going to reprioritize. We are going to take some things off of our plate that others can and should be doing for themselves. Okay. And this is about streamlining how we spend our energy. Where are you wasting your time? Where are you wasting your efforts? All of that has become a crutch for you to say, well, I don't have the time or I don't have the energy to fix this central issue. You do have the energy, you do have the time, because clearly you are spending it in other ways that aren't getting you where you want to go, but you're still spending it. Okay. So streamline your energy here. Okay. You can work smarter, not harder going into the new year. And let's double down on that message with the Three of Wands. Now, again, wands are our house of energy, physical energy. This is a card of local and regional travel, and not usually a weekend down the shore. This is usually travel with a purpose. Now, we are in holiday season and lots of people are traveling, so we will put that out there. Please do your due diligence with putting your plans together and travel safely. Please prepare for any inclement weather. But beyond that, Three of Wands, this is a card of open horizons. So we're going to see it again here with the Fool. The Fool says that you have this energy to take this leap of faith, but you won't know where to set that next step until you pick your eyes up and look a little further out onto the horizon. Okay. You've got some blinkers on right now. Your view is a little bit narrow. All right. Shake off the dust, shake off the cabin fever, and start looking ahead to this coming year. Now, in regards to whatever it is that you need to change, as evidenced here by this Nine of Wands, whatever this central issue is, whatever this overarching situation is that is asking you to get on this new path, this exciting path. The Chariot shows me that there is plenty of energy and plenty of cooperation to help you get wherever it is that you are going. Okay. Now, I will say also, the Chariot is the only depiction of a wheeled vehicle in the entire tarot. So we're going to double down on that travel safely message. But when it comes to the Chariot, this card is always about complementary relationships for me. And because this is in the past or currently unfolding pile of cards, this is a relationship that already exists for you or that is coming into being as we speak. This is going to be someone that you've probably spent a whole lot of time with, to the point where maybe you're finishing each other's sentences. All right. This complementary relationship that drives the Chariot forward is always about that perfectly matched set of horses. There's tremendous communication there. There are shared goals there. So whatever this is, this change that you are trying to make, that is going to ultimately open up your horizons and get you started on this new path. This person with this meaningful relationship that you already have, that person is having similar goals and is going to help you pull your wagon, and you are going to help them pull theirs. So whatever this change is, maybe we're going to be using a little bit of the buddy system here and asking for that help and that mentorship from someone who has or is going through something similar, or who has a life outlook that really inspires you and who gives you good advice. All right. So your help is there. Get on this path. It is continuing to unfold. Now let's get into the future of the week upcoming. Let's see here. We are going to talk to the Ace of Pentacles, the Wheel, the Knight of Cups, the Knave of Swords, and the Five of Swords. Okay, so I want to come right in here with the conflict, because I feel that this pertains to what we revealed as that tower incident from last week, and I think the week previously, because it was gaining momentum as it was showing itself in consecutive readings. So this Five of Swords, we had a visit from the devil that showed us that there may have been treachery, there may have been not very nice behavior from us or from someone else. We had also talked about the moon that showed if this tower moment was being predicated by someone else's behavior, someone else's not nice behavior, then there may be secrets being kept. There may be lies being told. The Five of Swords currently for this week shows me that, yeah, whether you realized it or not at the time, you were in for a screwing. So hopefully you got ahead of those energies and you got ahead of whatever that deceit was or whatever that dishonesty was. Because when the Five of Swords comes up, this is about the intent of a proper fucking. No matter, but it depends on which side of the situation that you're on, okay? If you got news that you were in for a proper fucking, you may have defeated the people, the entities, the situation that was trying to screw you out of whatever it was that the other side wanted, okay? So if you got ahead of it, this shows your victory. If you haven't yet, it shows very clearly that treachery is afoot. And this is not just a, yeah, I'm going to get you back one of these days. No, this is a, how can we hurt this person? How can we destroy this person? How can we take resources from them? Literally, these are people who tried to take off of you even more than they could carry. So keep your wits about you. Make sure that in your personal life, in your professional life, and in every avenue that you can, that you are dealing with people, giving your essence to people whose words and attitudes match their actions. Look for that disconnect, okay? And honor it when you find it. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be wrong because you read something maybe that wasn't there, but you have a right to protect yourself. You have a right to do your due diligence. When you get that red flag, please at least take the time to think about it. Do not ignore it and charge blindly on. Now, let's come over here to the Knight of Cups and the Knave of Swords. Now, this Knave of Swords, this shows me the beginning of a journey into the maturity of your emotional house. When we have knaves, knights, kings, and queens, when they manifest themselves, I often read that as a journey of maturity, depending on the overarching cards. And here, the maturity is coming in with this Knight of Cups, but we are beginning that journey into greater emotional maturity with some challenges, with some difficulties that we don't necessarily feel that we are prepared to take on, but you are. You have to start where you are. So whatever this challenge is, this journey, that you feel like you are not prepared to rise to this occasion, you are. Do it. You're going to grow into those tools. This is a sector of experience that your life is going to yield for you. So please try to set your fears aside and lean into it. And this Knight of Cups shows us that there is the power and the impetus, the drive and the desire to lean into this greater emotional maturity. Remember, cups are our house of emotions and relationships and things like that, non-tangible stuff. It's the realm of our feelings. So whatever this struggle is that you are nervous about rising to, please lean into it, because it is going to propel you into some wonderful, self-expansive, uncharted territory. All right. Use that forward impetus of that Knight card and lean into that challenge, lean into that difficulty, lean into that rational problem, perhaps, that you've been struggling with. Start where you are, and this is going to turn out to be a more wonderful journey and more eye-opening and more enlightening and, how do we say, emotionally expansive than you realized. Okay, so there are better things in this journey than what it looks like from where you're standing right now. So go ahead and get into it. Now, I want to come over here to the wheel because I feel like we had a conversation about this within the last 30 days for sure. The wheel shows us that every ending is a beginning, and that there's a time and a place for everything, and that the wheel of the year keeps turning. It's fitting that we've got literally the next chapter coming up in this reading on New Year's Day. So that bodes well for cycles turning and things moving on as they should. Remember, this realm continues to change, and you got to decide how you want to feel about that. So this is a card that also says you should put your money down and take a risk on yourself. All right, there's a lot of powerful energy here in this Knight of Cups card. Okay, take a risk on yourself. All right, let's come back here to this Five of Swords. This Five of Swords, this potential screwing that was on the table for you, how much of this was you settling for good enough and maybe letting that opportunity go to someone else who didn't deserve it as much as you did, or who was not prepared to do as good a job with it as you were prepared to do? How much of this screwing was you being afraid to speak up on your own behalf and be your own advocate and show others that you are worthy and that you have what it takes? You know, people treat you the way that you allow them to treat you. So, you know, maybe some of this screwing that was going to take place for you was because of your own neglect, you know, was because you were content at that time to sort of take a back seat to your own life. And look what happens. People who can take it from you will take it from you. So get back in there and start fighting your own fights and start speaking up for yourself. You do not need to be a victim, and you don't need to give people leverage over you that they don't deserve to have, which is pretty much all of it. Let's be honest. All right, but let's wrap up this New Year's Day with some good news. The Ace of Pentacles shows me that money situations are going to improve and resolve themselves in the new year. Aces for me are all about victory and completion. So if you have financial goals, material goals that you would like to meet, the energy of the beginning of this new year bodes well for that. And it shows me that your victory here, your success here is a foregone conclusion if you have the courage to take that risk on yourself and start this fresh path exactly where you find yourself. And that seems to be all I have for this week. I thank those of you who lovingly sat with me today, and I send you the most glorious wishes for a fantastic, on point, expansive, abundant, happy, healthy 2023. Fergus, please close the door until next time. And if you enjoyed our time together, please consider booking a session of your own over at brookereadstarot.com. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe. Every like that this channel gets, every time that you share this video with someone that you love, it just helps me get this information out there for whoever needs to hear it. I will see you next week.